Conditional sentences, true in the present and future. Every conditional sentence is made up of two parts, the condition and the result. For example, if it rains, the ground gets wet. That means that every conditional sentence has two clauses. The clause with the condition is the dependent clause, and the result clause is the independent clause. Most conditional sentences will contain the word if in the dependent clause, though not all of them. Of course, the two clauses can always be reversed without changing the meaning of the sentences. And, like other adverb clauses, generally speaking, no comma is needed when the dependent clause comes at the end of the sentence. In this lesson, you will learn about conditional sentences that are true in the present and future. By true, I mean that these are situations that are likely to happen or plausible. The meaning of these statements is easy to understand. What's important here is to notice the appropriate use of verb tenses in each clause. Can you identify the two clauses in each of these sentences? It's easy. Each of the dependent clauses, the ones that begin with if, appear in the same verb tense. What verb tense is that? It's the simple present. Now, while the dependent clause in true conditional sentences will always be in the simple present tense, the independent clause or result clause could appear in other tenses, like you see here. Let's take a closer look. With these types of conditional sentences, it is possible for the independent clause, the result clause, to appear in the simple present, future, with a modal verb, or as a command or imperative verb. Let's take a closer look at why we use each of these patterns. First, let's talk about habits. When the dependent clause appears in the simple present and the independent clause appears in the simple present, we're talking about a habit, a habitual action. If it rains, I usually wear my rain boots. Do you notice a word here that tells you it's a habit? That's right, the adverb usually. Here's another example. My feet tend to stay relatively dry if I wear my boots. To talk about the future, again, we'll have the simple present in the if clause and the future with will or be going to in the independent clause or the result clause. If it rains tomorrow, I probably won't ride my bike. Do you see the key word here that tells us it's the future? Tomorrow, that's right. Here's another example. If I don't ride my bike tomorrow, I'll ride the bus. These are true statements about the future. With true conditionals, a modal verb may also appear in the result clause. This could express a habit or the future tense. For example, if I ride my bike in the rain, I should be cautious. Do you see the modal verb? Yeah, should. Here's another example. If I'm not careful, I may crash. Finally, we can use an imperative verb or a command in the result clause. Again, this could express a habit or the future. For example, if you like riding bikes, ride with me. Here's another example. If you come on a ride with me, wear a helmet, please. Notice these are imperative verb forms. Okay, be careful. Can you choose the correct dependent clause to go with the independent clause that you see in purple? That's right. You know that it cannot be option A because we never use the future tense in the dependent clause of a conditional sentence, or in any sentence for that matter. This is a common error that learners of English may make, but not you. That concludes this lesson on conditional sentences that are true in the present and future. See you soon.